my goodness, take 2 or maybe 3 by now, because you see, the first one today, Ash Wednesday that I just did, I forgot to use my new fancy microphone, but I guess it's pretty relevant to be using it now when I talk about the ball for which I tried to get the microphone in time. So, this past weekend, there was the Pride and Prejudice ball in Boston. It was quite the lovely event. They had about 3 or 4 practices ahead of time where people learned the extra fancy dances. Now, Winston and Jessie were the teachers. They usually teach for the cotillion. Now, I have a hard time describing cotillion. I've only been, I think, once. And it feels like a roller coaster. You go so fast around the circle, you dance with lots of people, and learn cool things on the spot. With this dance, apparently, it took enough preparation that even for dancers, they said it's not enough to learn it on the spot. It will kind of mess up the other dancers if you try to just learn it at the moment. I thought that maybe if you had, dance experience, it would work. But anyway, the point is, because I didn't get to go to the practices, I had other things going on, I volunteered my videography services, and one of my friends, he has a super extra fancy camera, but he was going to be dancing. So he had his other friend who wasn't as interested in dancing. She volunteered to do the photos using his camera, and she also had a pretty cool camera. So hers was recording video from one angle. Then mine, I was going from different angles. So I'd gotten the extra fancy microphone from my extra fancy camera, and a few, several other things, the really giant memory card to hold all the video. And there was a girl who had lots of experience with costuming. Now, they told us about, the Regency clothing, empire waist, sash, etc., gloves if you want. And this girl had costuming experience. She was going to be making herself a really, cool fancy dress, and then realized she has access to costumes from theater, etc. Why not collect some and let it go to the use of all? So spend, her week getting things ready so a lot of people could enjoy and have really cool costumes, rather than putting all the time into just hers to have one really cool costume. So I noticed she wasn't really dancing, and I wondered if she maybe hadn't made it to the practices, and she indicated that she has some kind of heart condition where she basically gets 2 hours of functionality per day. So her and her boyfriend had helped out with the costuming, and so she wasn't even really getting to dance, and yet she did all this for everybody. So talk about a major contribution. Winston and Jessie, all the hours they put in and effort, and he told us that when people normally go to a dance like this, that it's like $300 to $400 between all the previous practices and then attending this. Someone had to procure the location. A lot of different people were involved in bringing food. They tried to have people bring like homemade food and be more authentic to the time as opposed to out of a plastic container from the store. And let's see. It just made me think about how we can all contribute our own individual talents to a greater cause. Sometimes it might look like, if we're all raking leaves together, it might seem like we're like a beehive or an ant farm I often think of. But in this case, you had people helping in the ways that they love and using their talents. So it's not just like everyone was sewing dresses, but, you had my friend who's the dancer who let his camera be used by someone else who wasn't that interested in dance but had some photography experience, so people got great photos. I didn't get to go to the practices, so I did the video. People brought the food, and everyone came together to do this amazing thing. And I especially love, I've always wanted to hang out with people that weren't drinking and, doing activities that, I wanted to be around people who are doing, enjoyed being moral and like to be close to God and like to, be able to be in tune with the spirit, which some people would call intuition. And it's much clearer when you keep your body clear of, fuzzy making substances. And so people might say, oh, you funny God-loving church people, what do you do with all your time that you have left over from not drinking, not doing drugs, and upholding the law of chastity and virtue? Well, this is what we do. We learn really cool dances and go to a ball where we dress up amazingly. And even someone commented, like, where else could you get a group of people to go to this much effort to dress up and to put this whole thing together? And, it was free. And everyone was contributing their time and talents and efforts, etc. It's not so common to find that, where so many people are willing to help and contribute, and everyone gets to enjoy it without a cost. So it was just a fabulous night, and I would totally recommend anybody do it if they get the chance, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Love working together, and none of us could have done this all on our own. We all needed to work together, and tons of people got to enjoy because of it. So what a wonderful thing. When we all work together, we really can create better things. And the sum is larger than the total. Wait, what is it? How does the phrase go? The total is larger than the sum of the parts. Either way, the point is, what we can accomplish together is greater than all of our individual efforts on their own, just added up separately. Together, it's like how when you bake, it's like chemistry. Something magical happens and it's like a new thing. It's not just flour and this ingredient. It's like, chemical reactions take place. Well, talent reactions take place. It's wonderful!